Today I will show you how to reserve a book online. The first thing you want to do is go to livinglearninglibraries.org. When you reach the home page, you next click on Online Database, and then click here to reach the online database. This will open a new window, and your next step will be to go to the top right corner and press Login. Here you are going to log in with the username and the password that was given to you in your welcome email, unless you have changed it. Alright, this next step is super important. You want to go to Location as soon as you get to this page and scroll down and select FL1. This is very important because if you do not select FL1, you may reserve a book that we do not actually have at our location. The next option here is to go to the field where you can search depending on what you want to find. So for example, if you want to look for an exact title, you can enter a title. Or if you are going to look for an author that you like, go ahead and look for that author. Sometimes people really like to use the series option right down here at near the bottom. The series option, like Tuttle Twins, Hardy Boys, something like that, will also be helpful. Or you could use the Anywhere option. Now if you do Anywhere, this means that it is going to search for whatever you put into this search box in all of our books, any kind of reference whatsoever at all. If you go to Subject, however, right here, Subject is going to be a little bit more specific. It will still give you a broad range, but not be searching in everything. So let me give you an example of what I mean by this. If I go to Anywhere and I type in birds, let's go with birds, I'm going to come up with a lot of options. Right here, 479 records. Okay? This is not just information or books about birds. This is some book that would have a bird inside of it, part of a character referenced in the book. So that's going to be Anywhere. However, if I go to Subject, that's going to be a little bit more specific, and I search that, there's now 391 records found. So that's paring it down a little bit more. All right, so next up, when you are searching, typically what comes up in the books is you will have nonfiction first, then fiction second, and juvenile third. You can see examples of what we came up with here for birds. I'm going to show you an example of this with another subject. Let's go with a person from history. How about Paul Revere? If I go to Subject, I'm going to have Famous American Spies. So he's going to be mentioned in here, but it's not specifically only about Paul Revere. Dogs of Destiny. So this is going to be a reference to or talk about maybe Paul Revere's dog, but it's not just about Paul Revere only. You have Colonial America. That's Art of Colonial America. So here's another broader range referencing Paul Revere, and then you have things specific to him, like a biography. On these options here, let's say we're going to request a few of them. So I'm going to go and I'm going to request the Famous American Spies. When I click the red box, this page right here comes up. Now this is really important for you to know. We do not contact you by phone. We only will contact by email. So we are not going to be texting out. We are only going to be emailing out when this hold is ready for you. You have your email address that should be defaulted into there, and you can just simply submit the request. All right, it has now been submitted. Let's go ahead and I'm just going to request one more. I'm going to click this red request box. Just so you know, these other colors up here, just don't even worry about, just simply focus on the request buttons. So again, it's going to be on email. It's going to be defaulting to my email account that they have on file. I'm going to submit the request, and we should be good to go. Now, it's really important to recognize and to know that just because you have clicked the request button and submitted it, the book may not be actually available for you the next time you come into the library. It could be a new book that hasn't arrived yet, or maybe it's already checked out by someone. And remember that if someone has already checked out that book, then chances are they could maybe be holding it for up to 3 weeks. So it may not be back for 3 weeks. Plus, on top of that, it's going to take some time for us to process it, put it back into the system, and then pull it for you. So there is going to be some time frame. You're going to have to wait perhaps a little bit. So once requested, though, this red button will disappear. I don't know if you noticed that, but this request button is here because I have not requested this book yet. But when I come back up here, it is no longer there. So that disappears, and it will let you know as you're continuing to scroll what you have actually requested and what you have not. Now let's say you want to see what you have requested. We're going to go up here to the upper left. You're going to click on this My File right here and My Request. And then now it's going to show me what I have put on hold. Dogs of Destiny, Famous American Spies, Art of Colonial America. So there they are. Now let's say, oh, you know what? I did not want this Art of Colonial America. I just want books. I don't actually want art. So now I can just push cancel. And it disappears, and it will go back onto the reserve option on the main screen. Now let's say that I have reserved 20 books, and all of those 20 are in here. If, say, 13 of them are ready for me to pick up, then I will get an email about those 13, and I will be able to have the opportunity to come in and pick them up. But if I wait for all 20 to be available, that may actually not happen. So it's really important to think through the timing of when you reserve and how many weeks out before you actually want to go look and see what you do have available and can pick up. I wouldn't wait for all 20 to be available because some may be out for a little bit longer than others. And so that's where we come to 3 important things to note. First, books are pulled on Monday, so you need to submit your request by Sunday at midnight. Second, put this email address into your address book so that it does not go to spam. And third, your holds will be kept on the shelf waiting for you for up to 3 weeks from when you first reserve it. And you can pick them up right near the front desk.